And welcome to the Nintendo Switch Online Game Club, the show where we play through the games available on Nintendo's various NSO apps completely at random. I'm your host, Derrick Bittner, and in this episode, I'm joined by Derrick of Stop Skeletons from Fighting, YouTuber, Doom fanatic, and lover of all things obscure. How you doing, Derrick?
I'm doing great. Got my name spelled correctly. 5 letters, easy in and out. No problems there. I am good. I have to make the joke every time.
You have to disagree every time. And then there's Matt McMuscles. How you doing, Matt?
Yeah, hi, I guess. That's fine.
I guess. But yes, the YouTuber here to tell you what happened, what the worst fighting game is, and 1/3 of the Triple KO podcast. And as you're both likely aware, there are now over 200 games across the NSO, and while some are widely known like Super Mario Bros. And Zelda, there are some odd picks that could be considered hidden gems. We honestly don't know. So what we'll be doing is entering all those games into a randomizer, picking one, and then giving our initial thoughts. And this week, the Wheel of Games has continued to pick N64 games, as we've got Mario Party 2.
Sadly not Shadow Man on the N64.
Yeah, I was hoping for Winback.
Yeah, we could go for Winback. I've not played Winback,
so. Oh man, Winback is it. It's got the word win, and you go back for more.
We can't take away too much from Mario Party, but let's talk about Winback a bit more. The main playable character's name is Jean-Luc Cougar.
Jean-Luc de Cougar or something, like you go for a French accent on that.
There is a lot of speech in Winback for an N64 game. Like, it's got Metal Gear style cutscenes.
It has a lot of text. There's actually voiceover in the PS2 version. But I do not believe he speaks in French accent. I don't know. But
I don't think he does.
It's a great from the makers of the Dynasty Warriors games. It's
really
Omega joint. Yeah, it's crazy and kind of like precursor to Resident Evil 4 and Gears of War a little bit.
Of course, multiplayer too. A cool multiplayer deathmatch.
Yeah, that's the little bit I actually played. I think when it first dropped for N64, we played a little bit of the multiplayer. I'm like, oh no, it's a little rough.
It's a lot too. Also, the controls it's third person. It's cover based, so the controls are a little wonky. It's difficult to kind of jump into. It's not like GoldenEye right away, but I actually back in high school loved that game so much I convinced my friends to actually play multiplayer, even though I was the only one that
tournament.
Yeah.
And after a while, they started to kind of pick up on it. And they were like, "This actually slaps." I'm like, "I know, right?" But actually, no, we're not doing that. We're doing Mario Party 2.
Yeah, we got a different multiplayer game. Maybe not as good of a multiplayer game, let's be honest, as Winback. I don't know if we can really compare to that. But yes, we have Mario Party 2. I was wondering when one of these would actually show up, because we technically could take advantage of the online functionality of NSO if we so decide, if we so choose, and actually play a round together. But Matt, you were saying last time when we actually chose this game, you have a hard time discerning what Mario parties are which. The best way I could tell you for this one is it's the one where everybody gets costumes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. On the cover, is it Mario like in a cowboy?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the cowboy Mario game. I thought you were gonna say you can make sure you know what part you're playing by looking at the number next to the title.
I'm not.
I was like, oh, he's got me there. But yeah, I think of the N64 Mario parties. It's like 1 to 3.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
I definitely played 1 or 2 of them back in the day. But that's where I played the most Mario Party on the GameCube. I think a lot of people did as well. But the N64 ones, like, I don't have much of a memory except for Cowboy Mario because he makes an impression.
Absolutely. Well, what's your history with Mario Party 2, Derrick?
I had a friend in high school who was convinced that Mario Party 1 was actually Mario Party 3 because there's a dice next to the Mario Party logo. There's a 3 on it, and I was like, no, it's not. And I played the first one, I think I've actually only played the first one. And
oh, wow.
If I recall, that the first one has lots of mini games, so you have to rotate the stick.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the from Mario Party 2 on, it was more like tapping the A and B buttons. Is that correct?
Yes, because the infamous story about Mario Party 1, because of the rotating the analog stick, the fastest way to do it, use that palm and just rotate as quickly as you can, and that injured a lot of kids.
Put holes in their hands.
Yeah,
and destroyed controllers too. You could tell when you buy a used N64 stick, just hold it up and kind of shake it, and if the C stick is like moving on its own, it's like, yeah, that was Mario Party ruined this thing.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we saw that, and amazingly they brought back some of those Mario Party 1 games where you do rotate the control stick for the Mario Party Superstars. So amazingly they did that. But one is definitely like feels like a completely different beast. Like you could definitely tell they were figuring things out. And with 2, it feels like they finally got a chance to iron out the kinks. It's like, okay, this is what we want to do with it. And here's, it brings back a lot of those mini games, just refines them a bit for Mario Party 2. So,
and since the series basically started on the N64, like I think it really helped the N64's image of like the party game like console, just because 4-player, and look how much like insanity you can have with this, coupled with GoldenEye and Mario Kart and blah blah blah. It's like one of those games that really did help define, like didn't define the N64, but certainly helped it move in that like kind of direction. Like, oh, if you have 4 people and like a sleepover, like you bust out an N64 or WWF like No Mercy or something like that. Like there's always at least one game in a genre that had like 4-player compatibility on the N64, and like Mario Party would like definitely define that. Just for myself, like we were playing all the other games in Mario Party, like only like one kid would bring it over to like, or like, hey, we'll play Mario Party. Yeah, we'll play it after Perfect Dark, and then after this, and then after that, and then we're all too tired, and our stummies are filled with food, and we all go to bed. So, yeah, like my experience with it's just a little bit less than like Mario Kart 64, which was always on rotation.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I mean, I honestly wondered if there's only a handful of fighting games on here, so I wonder if we can get one of those weird ones for you.
I don't know, like Xena, Talisman of Fate. What do you think, Derrick?
Yeah.
I don't think that's on the NSO. I'm trying to think of one of the ones.
Oh, it should be.
If there was any justice in this.
I mean, the thing is, I did get a fighting game earlier. I got to play Tough Enough, which I didn't even realize was a fighting game. I thought that was a beat 'em up.
I thought that was a brawler too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, hey punk, are you tough enough? I just remember that Rob Liefeld looking dude on the box art.
Yes. So got to play that, which was something.
And speaking of fighting games, I recall that Mario Party and Smash Bros came out around the same time.
I think so.
I feel like I had a couple of like kind of high school parties where we played both of those games, and I think I liked Smash Brothers a little more.
Yeah, I think Smash kind of definitely took over in terms of like, here's a bunch of playable Mario characters, obviously other characters from other franchises, but a lot of others. And like when that came out in like 99, I think that was just like in my like group of people I knew, just it would just take over things after a certain point. And Mario Party obviously really still popular. They made 3 of them and they continued to make 1,000 more. So yeah,
many.
but like Smash Brothers was definitely like it pushed it out of the limelight a little bit, at least where I grew up.
They kept on making more Mario Parties. I was like, well, when are you gonna make a new Smash Bros? Like, come on. And then it wasn't until GameCube years later, which probably good that they waited.
Yeah,
Smash Bros. Typically, like the batting average of Smash Bros is much better than I think the Mario Party games as a whole, but
I think
I guess I'll find out a little more.
Each person has a different like favorite Mario Party. I know that for a fact, and it can range pretty wildly. But I think generally you'll find some kind of fan for at least the first 8, and then you get 9 and 10 where it's like, that's when they introduce the car, and that's when it's like, oh no, and
like there's. Around that era, that's where there's some that people consider like this is just like bad, like don't play this one, right?
I think
but I don't know
yeah.
which ones. Okay.
Well, there was one that wasn't even a Mario Party. It wasn't even a numbered game. It was just like they tried to use only
collection.
Like Mii's. No, it was like between Mario Party like 6 and I think it was like Mario Party 7 was just like a Wii game, kind of being like Miiverse stuff.
Oh yeah, they had the Wii Party,
to be like Wii Sports. Yeah, and then they were like, oh, that didn't work. So it was Mario Party 8 or 9 or whatever. Yeah.
There's too many Mario parties. Please eliminate 4.
Yeah,
Like,
will
just
definitely
and that's still
You know
you'd
what?
still have so many Mario
you
parties.
still have like 20.
This is actually I love this type of series because it's like there's too many of them. I really don't have interest in playing all of them. This is where I go to YouTube. I'm like, all right, Mario Party ranked. Or the other day I was watching Dynasty Warriors ranked, and it was like an
Oh
hour
my
How do
long
you
video.
tell that? Like, oh, I couldn't even tell you. Like,
No, no,
where'd one
no.
land? That's the
Listen,
question.
I am out there for the people, the smaller channels that are doing that type of stuff, like who are hardcore like Dynasty Warriors fans, and they got all their Dynasty Warriors videos, and they're making that Dynasty Warriors content. And I would hope that there are Mario Party type people out there who can do the rankings and talk genuinely. Like, no, this is not. They can tell you why
This
Mario
has
Party
to
Amazing.
4 is
exist,
the best
though.
one, or something like that.
There has to be a Dynasty Warriors party game where it's like Mario Party, but it's just Dynasty Warriors characters,
my
right?
God.
There
Lu
has-
Bu is
Muso
Bowser.
characters.
Lu Bu is
Yeah,
Bowser.
yeah. But then you
In
put
the
Samurai
video-
Warriors.
Yeah, in the video I was watching, this one guy, I forget which one it was, and I forget who it was, but they were like, I think they were like, oh, this Dynasty Warriors, yeah, they like kind of rebooted it, and so it didn't have so and so and blah 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 and Bank of Bank, and it's like, they were like so upset that their mains were not in Dynasty Warriors 6 or something like that, and it's like I love that.
Extreme.
Yeah, those nested. No, the extreme games are typically the best ones. It turns out.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Oh.
I didn't know
Yeah,
this.
there's like a handful of the Empire games are up top, one or two of the Extreme games are up there too. No love for the weird DS game though.
Or like the first person one on the
First person.
where you're slashing in first person. Or am I
might have been
thinking
a
of Sengoku
Samurai
Basara?
I
might
have
be.
no
Yeah,
idea.
don't know.
yeah.
I think I only ever rented like Dynasty Warriors 2 and 3 and like then just went to the other like Warriors other spin-off games that are like Dynasty Warriors but not Dynasty Warriors because I realized going from 2 to 3 is like this is the same story. Like there's like
No,
there's not
it's
much-
the same game. I mean, it's to me. All right, I'm all about EDF, and I will admit that like there are definitely EDF games that are better than other EDF games, but they're all good / bad. It's all kind of the same thing.
You still love them like children, but there is a hierarchy.
yeah.
I have a favorite. Yes.
Yeah, you have a base level of love for all of them, but then, it varies after that.
Yeah, I love them all, but only one's getting a little more of the inheritance. Just to.
I mean, I guess that's kind of Mario Party. Everybody has a favorite. There's a baseline that they all cover it at some point. They try to change up the gameplay as it goes on. I'm looking
is
here.
2 considered like a really good one? Like, do we?
I think so.
People put 2 very highly, but I think it's most. I mean, nobody really talks about single player with Mario Party, but I don't think there's any real single player modes in this. I know other ones have sort of like story playthroughs, kind of that I've never really encountered. But a lot of people, I hear 2 and 3 most often as like the best Mario Party.
Okay.
And we're actually getting 3 pretty recently, like very close to us recording this. So we just missed it.
I read that as I was making YouTube videos during the lockdown, the pandemic of 2020 and 2021. One idea I regret not doing was making a video where I just played all the Mario Party games, but just the single player modes
By
And
yourself.
I would have shot myself on a couch with the camera far away, me sitting on the far end of the couch with no one there. And then the lockdown got lifted, and then the vaccines came out. I was like, well, I can't really make that. It was perhaps in poor taste anyway, but I can't really make that video anymore now.
But before you explain that, I was just thinking, man, what if someone sat down and played all the single player games of Mario? What an experience that would be. And you described the exact. It's like when Jenny Nicholson said, "I'm in lockdown. I watched all 17 Land Before Time movies back to back."
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I mean, it's the same thing as playing almost any series that has that many. And Mario Party is definitely in that hierarchy. Maybe not as bad as like Samurai Dynasty Warriors because there's so many offs.
Yeah.
But Mario Party seems like in that mid tier where there's like quite a few, but it's not overwhelming. But then there's handheld versions too. I just remembered, right?
There's Mario Party
There's an
Advance,
e-reader
Mario Party DS, Mario Party Top 100, Island Tour. Like, there's like 5 or 6 more Mario Parties on handheld.
There's the board game with you play with the e-reader. There's like a physical
right, there is
Mario
that as well.
Party. Yeah.
Of course, Derrick knows this.
And actually, Ant Dude has that, and I've wanted to actually meet up with it. We should make a video on whatever e-reader bullshit is on that on the Mario Party E game.
Perfect.
Is that what it's called? Mario Party E?
It might be called Mario Party E. I don't remember. I have no idea. I used to
used to
Snappy
remember
name.
that. Yeah, because I vaguely remember that. I mean, who knows? E-reader stuff might come to it. We got I know Super Mario Brothers 3 on Game Boy Advance actually includes all the e-reader levels. So on the NSO,
Yes.
so
Crazy, yeah.
there's that at least. But yeah, obviously we've gone here, there, and everywhere. It's Mario Party. What do you really say about it? We're just gonna check it out, see
We're like
how it
we're
holds
like putting
up.
it off. Like we're just like stalling to have to like. If we just keep talking about the series, we don't have to stop and then play the games.
Because then we'll hate each other.
Yeah.
Mario Party hate.
We're-
Mario haters.
We'll come back as like, man, Matt McMuscles, he's just a piece of crap. He's
Yeah.
Oh man, both these Derricks hate him.
That
never
star
want
is
to collaborate
mine.
again. Oh my, but yeah.
Well, I mean, all right. I mean, is we change this to bad vibes gaming? Like, what are we gonna do?
I mean, that might be what ends up happening. It's hard to say.
Yeah, questionable vibes gaming. We'll see.
We'll have to see if we can actually get together to just play a game or just rope in loved ones and just hate them instead. So keep the love amongst
Spread
each
the
other.
hate around,
There
as
you
they
go.
say.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, any other thoughts on Mario Party 2 before we jump into it this week?
I'm going to win if we play it, all three of us. Or I think I'm going to win, but then Mario Party decided, no, you don't get to win. It'll make one of the Derricks win instead. Because
Derrick will land on that chance time and take all your stars.
And it's like,
yeah.
and if I lose, but if one of the Derricks win, I can be like, well, it's good enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a
You're-
2 and 3, 2 out of 3 chance here.
You get like a 0.5 of that victory, essentially. Whoever did not win. So
Or maybe like we play a game and then the fourth player is the computer and they win, and we can all like
ooh.
join in on hating the one person doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
If that's possible, we
brings us
should.
closer
I think,
together,
yeah, you definitely can put in like a fourth player, so there's AI
Okay,
controlled.
good.
I thought you needed to have the fourth player.
I think you're right. I think you
only
need to have
prefer-
computer players in there in order to do all that. So,
Okay.
and we can either set it to be smart or stupid. Because it's like easy, medium, hard as far as difficulty is concerned for the AI. So, we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening.
I say put them on super smart.
Oh God, then we'll
let's
really
see
hate that
if-
thing.
So, because the Skynet that Nintendo most likely programmed in there, I think like we should see, can mankind defeat it? You know.
Can the combined efforts of these people actually defeat Skynet? Probably not, but we'll try
not.
anyway.
Together
Oh,
we are the Terminator and the T-1000 and the T-12.
TX.
Yeah,
Terminatrix.
Matt likes.
Oh,
the,
yeah,
oh
I
God.
forget.
Matt makes the last play in the final turn to defeat it, and but he goes down with it, and just get a thumbs up from his. He sinks down into it.
Or the T-1000 from the show at Universal Studios, just a big silver spider.
I don't think I
That
knew about
thing.
that. What the heck?
The T-1000. Don't you know the T-1000
No.
lore?
T1 million. My God.
Yeah, it's a higher number than the others. It's got to be the best
It's
one.
gotta be. I've never
doesn't
went to
get higher than
Universal,
that.
so yeah.
It's the most Terminator.
It's the best.
No,
It's the most.
we just need Terminator Infinity now. It's just like there we go.
Yeah, Terminator Ouroboros. That'd be cool.
or have the crappiest Terminator possible, Terminator X.
Yeah. Or have all of the Terminators play Mario Party against each other, and then, Skynet will wipe itself out that way, because all the even though they're not programmed to have emotions, they're going to have it after playing a Mario Party game.
Yeah, they will.
Well, there was that scene in Terminator 2 where he does like the, down low, too slow, and he like looks at John like, I could kill you. Like,
Easily.
Easily.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, Terminator. I take all your stars. He just punches a hole in his head.
Wait, what? All right, hold on. All right, gentlemen. What if instead, we just we throw down money on 4 computer players playing a game, and we just watch the world burn?
Oh, there we go.
Ooh, that's also good. That's good.
We have like a representative. We could try it. I don't know. I
It
don't
could
know
be
if
like
that's
smoking cigars and throwing money on the table and such.
Exactly.
To add to the atmos,
Like dog race. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
Dog
dog
fighting
fighting, but it's
horse
safe.
racing,
Yeah, there you go. Matt loses. He's like, screw this place. I'm going to make my own Mario Party with blackjack and hookers.
More blackjack and more hookers. We already have like a bunch at this Mario Party Kumite we have running. So,
oh goodness, I love it. But yeah, we'll come back in a week with our full thoughts on Mario Party 2. Till then.
Let me in, dude. Come on, man.
Don't you know who my daddy is?
I'm a friend of Mario's. I know the princess.
We went to grade school together.
I can't let you in, kid. You're wearing a tie. It's time for Mario Party 2. Rated E for everyone. With 5 new adventure boards and 64 minigames. You're definitely gonna want in.
Pizza.
Him.
And we're back after a week of playing Mario Party 2. So I gotta ask, was it a cool party or did you check out early? Let's start with you, Derrick.
I didn't hate it as much as Mario Party 1. I didn't end the party with just like searing hatred for everybody. This game is not as just evil as the first game.
Have you only played Mario Party 1 or like or later ones?
The one I've played the most, actually, I think Mario Party 1 and like Fortune
God.
Street on Wii are probably the two that I've played the most.
I've never heard of anybody that mainly played Mario Party 1. That is insane to me because the game, like, it's still mean, but let's be honest, but it's at least a little bit more fair. But yeah, how did it feel to play Mario Party 2?
I didn't play Mario Party often. I think I've honestly played less than 5 games of Mario Party in my life because it just is such a it hits me in a way, my competitive side, that I've it's never been fun.
You Barry.
But I will say, Mario Party 2, I still felt like there was a little bit of that like behind the curtain manipulation from the computer. Kind of always like, oh man, if I rolled a 2 right now, that'd really suck. And then of course, oh, got a 2 naturally. Okay, they wanted me to also have a red square. They can do a 2-2, you know. But when I lost, it didn't feel so soul crushingly terrible.
it felt like you earned that loss.
Yeah.
Or I guess I got second. I got second place because of the. Yeah, it was like there was the bonus stars at the end. It was like a really contentious race between the 3 of us, and then Yoshi, right after at the finish line, like somehow stuck in and got like 8 bonus stars.
As he does.
Yeah,
as he does.
Yeah.
I only played single player throughout this weekend because unfortunately we weren't able to get together to play a game with each other. But mostly single player. But before I talk, Matt, what did you think coming to Mario Party 2?
Well, throughout my life, I've only been invited to like 2 parties ever, so I don't have a whole lot of experience being in the party environment.
Oh, come on.
Like up until going to conventions to like as a YouTuber, I've been like, partay? I don't understand because,
Not wrong for me.
high school gamer nerd doesn't get invited to a lot of parties. Anyway, I went back and played Mario Party 1 a little bit because once I started playing Mario Party 2, I was like, this seems fine. I wonder why not everyone, but like a huge contingent of people are like, yeah, Mario Party 2 is like up there. And you go back to Mario Party 1, you're like, oh, that's why, because Mario Party 2 is such a better version of Mario Party 1. I was talking to one of the Derricks before we started recording and just saying how like they made a lot of smart changes, but there's a lot of carryover, like a lot of mini games. What we said, like 21 mini games are from Mario Party 1.
Something like that. There's a lot of repeats within the lineup, but they're also balanced better, so they play better. So it's also it's not a bad way. It's almost like Mario Party 2 is almost an enhanced version of Mario Party 1. Let's be honest.
Mario Party Gold.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed this a lot more than I was expecting to, because you go like, 2, they still haven't nailed it, and we're also saying before we started that like maybe 3 is kind of considered peak Mario Party, or at least classic peak Mario Party. The only thing about this where I was kind of like, this is a little rough, is just 2D images on the N64 are always like a little hard to look at nowadays, whether you upscale them or not. It's just like they look so fugly. So I'm not sure when that transition to fully 3D, does it happen in Mario Party 3 or does that like continue on in the GameCube, I assume?
I think it doesn't happen until you get the GameCube. It just
okay.
always just use the boards as like those 2D images, and you just sort of on top of it. But it also kind of gives it a weird charm, just because like you're on a board
like
game.
Yoshi's Story.
Yeah, that type of thing.
But some of them are garish in how they're designed, the boards. Like when you're really close up to like the board, when it pans out, it's like not too bad. But when you see it like really close up, I was just kind of like, ooh. But other than that, I had a good time. Like none of the we'll get to, I'm sure, but none of the mini games I felt were like, I hate this. There were some that were clunky, but most of them I was kind of like pleased with. I'm sure a lot of them are classic. But yeah, I had a good time partying with the Mario Party too.
Did you guys play against other people, or did you stick with the computer just for this whole thing?
Yeah, computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I wish we could have got together, but it was a kind of a crazy week for all of us.
It was Halloween,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
like it was other stuff was happening, and I did play the spooky map, even in solidarity. But it just didn't quite work out. But I did watch a game with computer players and imagined what it would be like to be like having big stogies and throwing money down on a table.
Yeah, the game is absolutely enhanced by multiplayer, having your friends there and like being there to screw them over or have direct competition. It is perfectly fine playing against a computer. You can still have a fun time, but it's also like sometimes the computers are cheating SOBs. Like it's ridiculous what they can pull off. A surprising amount, because I wanted to try to unlock Bowser Land. That was sort of my goal for this, because you start out with five of the boards, and by playing each of them you unlock Bowser Land. I was only able to play through 4 of them, but as Derrick was saying before we started, these boards take a while. These 20 turns are not short. You can just be here forever.
And the mystery board is like the longest one, because it's like, what is it, like 4 sections and then like another one in the middle. Like I played a game on there and that seemed like it just took extra long.
When I played that board, I swear to God, my first turn was 3. The computer, each one of them landed on a battle space. So 3 battle mini games before I even turn 1 was finished. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm losing my mind here.
Damn.
Just the same 40 coins getting redistributed amongst everybody. It was rough, but it was also weird where I had another board where I rolled my dice, landed, and I found a hidden block and got a star immediately. I was like, okay, I'll take that. Sure, why not? It's just. Did you not?
I always feel it's like suspect when that happens. When I can't be too positive when I play a Mario Party game with computers, because like if my luck is suddenly like turning up, I'm like, no, they're panning a target on my back. Like this is gonna work out. Like I'm just getting other people stars and coins that they're going to steal later, right? That they're just gonna, I magically rolled an 11. Wow, imagine that. And I'm gonna go to the, I went to the main one I played was Horrorland, and you could land on if it was nighttime, there were ghosts you can talk to. And for 10 coins you can steal coins, which is, even if you tap A lot, it still steals a lot of coins.
Oh yeah.
Or for 50 coins you can steal someone's star, and it's pretty easy to do that in that level. So that the computer's always pulling some shenanigans. There's the real master of puppets is the computer.
But I think in the early games, like it's not as bad as it would get. Like I have a memory of the later games, maybe the later GameCube ones or the Wii ones, where it's like you cannot be good at Mario Party. Whereas like I kind of felt, especially with the items in this game, because when I went back to Mario Party 1, there were no items, or they're not traditional, not like they are here, where you got like all these different things at the item shop or whatever. And that like actually led to strategy, at least going against CPUs. I was kind of like, oh, let me use this right here. Maybe this will help out. And I'm not sure, God, there's so many. I'm not sure if that system or a system like that must have been in like a later Mario Party. But here, I guess it started here, and I felt like that kind of mitigated luck or like CPU thuggery, I guess.
Actually,
Yeah.
how I felt it when I was playing my game, and I did 20 rounds on Horrorland. Just kind of jumped, even though it was like 3 stars. I was like, nah, I gotta do Horrorland. It's just it looks
Yeah,
like
you're Derrick.
it looks like an ill bleed level. It's
Yeah.
it's Halloween. Got to go for it. And I felt like when you're at the board and you're rolling the dice, there's clearly backdoor happenings. It is not completely left up to chance. The computer's actively trying to kind of screw you sometimes, except during the mini games. If because I during playing a mini game that's the one variable it can't really control, because like if you do well at the mini game, you just do well. It'll then adjust its backdoor puppet string pulling, but it was sort of like this. I know the computer wants me to, if I hit a 2 right now, it's gonna be really bad, that kind of thing. But I always kind of felt like, yeah, but if in this next mini game I can crush it, I'll be kind of back to good. And a couple times that did happen. So
Right.
it isn't completely unfair, but you do have to be good at these mini games, which is not always possible.
There was one I was never able to win against the computer. It's the one where you're skateboarding and running away from the boo.
Yeah.
Did you guys encounter
Yeah.
that one? Yeah, that
I
one
did.
always gave me trouble. I just could not tap fast enough. I don't know what it was, either with the Switch or just in general. I just could not tap it fast enough to beat them.
For that one, it felt like you needed to be hammering it the whole time. But I was like, because the way that as the course goes, the camera shifts. You can't quite see what's in front of you, and then you can see what's in front of you, but you can't really see how close you are to the ghost and that type of thing. When I did it on practice, I found that I was being really conservative and trying not to get too ahead of myself. But then the final stretch, you just can't tap fast enough. There's like a good straight ahead stretch before the end, and so you kind of have to play really risky up front, trying and that in order you have to be ahead of the computer already by the time you get to that last stretch. Is sort of
Right.
my that's how I broke it down. That's how I justified my loss.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I kind of felt there were like mini games I would get disengaged and like start doing worse on because they would go on too long or they're too slow. Because you have to strike that balance. There's like one or two mini games where it's like it's over in like 10 seconds or less. It just depends what they are. But the ones that are torpedo targets where you're in these little submarines. And then a similar one what have I written down? Magna Carta. Where you're these little like slot car racer things.
Oh yeah.
And the torpedo one specifically was so slow and clunky, and you're just moving in 3D space that I'm like, okay, this is taking forever, and I just start not caring that much. And you want something that lasts like 30 seconds, and that's kind of it. And this, I felt like this could go on for like 2 minutes, and then it's just started doing worse, and then I'd lose any sort of advantage I sort of was getting from a mini game. But like none were, like I said at the start, none were like, oh my, I don't even know what to do here. Like they were all simple to the point. Whereas like I remember later Mario Party mini games being like, I don't know what to do. What do I do? Especially like on the Wii and stuff with motions and things. Like what is the sweet spot you want me to do here? So this I at least felt was like a nice balance. There's just some that were like too boring for me to care about.
Torpedo targets, at least with AI, can definitely screw you over. Because if I was in control, I could typically win. Like driving, I could find the targets and actually get them to shoot it. But when I had to rely on their driving, I'm like, well, this is a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
apparently it says that you can control your rocket after you shoot. I swear I was not controlling nothing.
No.
I don't know what that was. I even did the practice a couple of times. Like, what am I doing wrong? How can it be this hard? One game that confused the hell out of me was the title of it is Look Away, and I did not look at the title. I was reading the description. The description is written as though
looked away.
you're the person. As you're it's a 3 versus 1.
Yes.
And the description is written from the first person perspective of that, or the third person perspective of the first person. So, and I was like, oh wait, am I supposed to match what they look? What? And then once I figured it out, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna not move. And that actually not moving and just looking straight ahead, I got to like the third round before I I got my hubris was there. That actually took a really long time for me to just wrap my brain around for some reason. I don't know.
Fair enough. Some are like that. Like they're just like they seem simple, but you get into it and you're like you kind of overthink it or whatever else happens to it. But there's also ones that are like extremely punishing, and it's come back a few times because they bring back certain mini games for the compilation Mario parties. But the one where the chain chomp is guarding, like you have to go in, push a button to release a door, and then back out to get out the door. It's basically red light, green light. But the time it takes for you to get into your barrel, I have never won that game in my life.
That one feels like it just chooses someone to get hurt by the chain chomp. Like it. I did do that one really briefly, and I was like the first one to get like knocked out. So, that one was like really weird too. I like Did you guys do the one where it's like a big Bowser face and it's about to explode, and everyone has to like
put the
Bowser's
plunger?
like, yeah. That one is like that must be what it feels like when like countries have nuclear launch codes and there's like all this tension. Like that one was crazy high stakes. Like I was sweating a little bit because it was towards the end of a match or something, and I was like, this is a really good one. So
yeah, it's just random.
yeah, a little bit. It is.
Yeah,
it is nice that they have a practice. It's a double-edged sword because you can practice before you fight or before you do any mini game that stretches out the overall playing time by basically double a third, but
makes future playthroughs go a little quicker once you actually know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think it's definitely.
Okay, I know what's going on.
When you have a crew that you kind of like, I'd imagine if you had every Saturday get with the homies and we play some Mario Party, everybody knows the nuances because you can read the directions and you can look at the controls and even look at like the advanced tips, but each of these games, and I kind of admire this, there's like a very specific level of like jank with the controls, like timing and hit detection. Like each game is like very kind of janky and bad, but in like a very controlled way that you can only read so much. You have to jump in and practice to know. Like it says jump, like yeah, but when do I push the button? How far do I jump? What are we talking with the bouncing off? There's so many other details that don't tell you.
Yeah.
It's honestly not a bad set of mini games. A lot of them they like are considered favorites for the franchise. They're just sort of classic in that way, and a lot of it comes down to nostalgia and just what they pull off. But I think there's very few mini games that I would consider like, oh, this one. I think they're generally pretty good. And you'll see most of them as just very quickly because there's not a ton of variety with them, but they're good enough that you kind of go with it.
The tank mini game.
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
I got that one in the single player, and then I went and bought it immediately, and I was like, I could see, if I had friends that were playing Mario Party back then, absolutely like playing super high stakes tank combat, whatever that is, but I could see playing that for hours and hours. Just it's such a simple but like nuanced kind of a game that is I really I think that was the one that I think I like enjoyed a lot. I think all the other ones, most games were like fine, where that was neat, where that was clever, but I was like, this is really cool. I like this. This is absolutely hitting my butt.
We just need to put Mario in a tank. That's all we need.
It's like a
also
precursor to Mario Odyssey, where you take control of the tank and destroy half a city.
I just also want to say one thing. There are so many mini games where like you're in a car or a tank or something like that, and they just take the head of the model of the character and just stick it on top of the model of the car, and when you win, it goes woohoo, but the mouth doesn't move. There's no animation. They do nothing to like make it like there's no neck working its way into. No, they just literally just pop it in there, super glue. It's so jank. It's so cute. I love that.
You gotta love those early 3D techniques. Just how do we make this work? Just pop the head on. That way everybody knows it. And there's a weird charm to it. It's I don't know. There's something very just kind of cool about it. It's like it looks weird, but I'm kind of down with that whole thing because when you see like the slot cars and you just the lineup of everybody around and just seeing them going around.
Like, they're not driving the car; they are the car. Like,
Yeah.
biomechanical nightmare.
But we know they have driver's license. We've seen them in Mario Kart, but
That is true.
this is different. And it's not even like they could be standing off, off the course, like with their remotes. But no, they become the slot car.
Oh yeah, they're all in it. And since you guys only played one of the boards, I believe you guys only played one of the boards. One of the things I discovered that I completely forgot about with this game is the duel mini games. So each board has its own unique duel that you do, because I'm assuming you guys got into duels during your boards, right? Where you just final 5 turns, you got into a same space and you have to fight somebody for coins.
Actually, I never did, but I saw computers go at it. Yeah. I never did personally.
So in Pirate Land, it's a sword duel where it's like, here's the buttons. First one to put in the buttons and do the combination gets the victory. Western Land is a timing based game. It's like start, fire. First one to hit the button and fire, you win your pop gun showdown. I forget Spaceland's off. No, Spaceland is this thing goes off at this after this many seconds. You have to hit the button when you think it's gone past that, but still stay close to it. So but you don't show you the second countdown. So you just sort of like, okay, 3, 2, 1. I think I need to push it, and then you're good to go. And Mystery Land, I forget Mystery Land's off the top of my head, but yeah,
mystery. We'll never know.
Yeah, I just it's completely unknown. And each of the item mini games are unique too. So I like that, even though they're not like the traditional mini games, each board does change it up with what flavor you get with them. And I think that's
it's cool.
a strong point.
The pirate one I really liked, Saber Strikes, something like that, like Saber Battle, Saber Strikes. That one was really cool because I always go back to thinking about the Kirby, Samurai Kirby, and Kirby Jesus Christ Megastar. No, what was it called?
Superstar.
Superstar.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ Megastar. Yeah. I always like that's the de facto like 2-player tense thing, and I thought these were like, oh, this is a nice little spin on that sort of setup. So the Saber one, you're saying the space one was. Are you holding a bomb when you're waiting for something to blow up?
I forget what you're holding. I don't think you're holding anything. Maybe you are. I'm just blanking on it off the top of my head. But it's just like saying first one to push the button when after it's 4 seconds and the closest to 4 seconds wins.
Okay.
That's what
I
I
didn't
think.
see that one though.
So
the one for Horror Land was you're both trying to make a potion, and there's cauldrons in front of you, and you're given prompts A, B, or Z, and You push them and you drop it in there, and it doesn't tell you if you make a mistake. It is low. It tells you your tally at the end, whichever one's like I think whatever the witch comes out of or something like that. But it's that's really difficult. I realize it would be difficult because A and B are on a different position on a Switch controller, and it's like that classic thing about like you have an Xbox, you have a PlayStation, and you have a Nintendo controller. You're like, find X, which one is X, and I'm glad I didn't get that. I there a couple times I needed to know which A and B, and I had to like look down, double check. Okay, all right, this is, because I always get that backwards.
Fair enough. But yeah, I haven't played. Obviously I didn't get to the Bowser Land board, but Pirate Land, its whole gimmick was there was a bridge. If you land on a happening space, you'll get bombed and sent back to start. Or if you land next to a dock, you'll automatically be taken by a shark to the next dock. So there's ways that could either help you or screw you. Western Land has a train going around the outskirts, and if you land on a happening space, that train will move. If you are on it, you get to ride it and go to the next spot. But if you're not, you're going to get hit and go back to the start. Spaceland was the whole, there's a space laser in the middle. Once you go past the middle, it'll do a countdown. It hits 0, a laser will fire. If that laser hits you while you're in its path, you will lose all your coins. And it can be brutal in that way. And Mystery Land, as Matt was saying,
Bowser has a orbital space cannon. And
of course he does.
Just
to take care of.
I love it though.
I actually, speaking of that, Matt, the one thing this game does that surprisingly they've yet to repeat is all of the special dress up you get. The characters all dress up for each of the different lands, and
Yeah.
there's like a special scenario that plays at the end. It's like, this is how we're going to show the winner. It's like this is the person that's stopping Black Hole Bowser or Wizard Bowser or what have you. It's just like
Wizard Bowser's so OP.
yeah. Like you actually have a Western showdown with the pop guns in Western land.
Oh, right. So,
against
yeah, I
Bowser.
only completed one whole map myself, but at the very end of the horror map, it's like, and the winner is, wait, everybody, stop! Bowser's gonna cast a spell, and then we all run, and we see him turning everybody into like, frogs and stuff like that, and then you get a close up shot of Bowser. He's like, huh? Who's that? And you see a shadow in the corner, and then the camera turns to reveal the winner. And I thought that was really a cute way to do that. I didn't know it was. I literally was like, what is happening? Oh no, we do have to stop Bowser. And then I was like, oh, Yoshi won, jerk.
Yoshi always winning.
Yeah, keep winning, lad. But yeah, it's just a nice sense of like extra fun to it. Although I guess I do want to bring it up because you like me, you watched the opening bit there, Derrick. The story of Mario Party 2.
Man,
what do you think?
I have some notes. So I watched the story twice because I was like, I had to have misread a couple of those things. That's ridiculous. So the story is, Mario and his friends make Wario Land, which I don't appreciate this like erasure of the Game Boy game, which is a classic. And they all start to fight over if it should be called Wario Land or Peach Land. They wanted to know whose name it is. Yeah. While they're fighting, Bowser shows up and starts burning the place to the ground. a Koopa informs on him, totally like rats him out and goes, guys, Bowser's burning Mario Land down. And literally they said, everyone just ignores him and keeps fighting about who wants to be their name at the marquee. They don't care. They're at the garage. They're at the gates. They've broken down. Yeah, they're like, who cares? And then Toad, who is like telling the story on stage, he like interrupts the play to be like, guys, how about whoever stops Bowser gets to have their name as the title of the park? And only then do they stop to give the smallest shit about the terrorism that is happening. He's burning the buildings down. He literally, the screen goes red. He's just like shooting fire everywhere. And
high stakes.
Yeah.
Is this like the shittiest Mario has ever officially been? Like he's cared that little about stopping Bowser for any reason.
Well, it's like he only cares if it's burning down his marquee title, if it's actually his marquee title. It's like, whoa, he's breaking my crap now. I got to stop him.
Yeah, it's like the board universe is its own pocket universe, so it's like a different Mario, and he doesn't like. It's just like the next day everything will be fine and the same again. We'll play another board game versus like mainline Mario 64 Mario, who's like, oh yeah, we have to stop him.
Oh wait, no, is this actually a D&D? Is this like a D&D
Yes.
campaign that we're within the D&D campaign we're playing board games? Okay,
there we go.
That's my headcanon.
It all makes perfect sense. It's just a loose excuse for having all these different lands and having this setup for stopping Bowser, but it's just
wait. Like speaking of Bowser, did both Derricks? Did you look up Bowser Parade?
I did not. I missed I didn't get the chance to see the Bowser Parade in Bowser Land.
In Bowser, I didn't play in Bowser Land, but I had to look this up because I saw it mentioned. In the Bowser Land board, eventually, like its gimmick, like the train in the western level, is that there's just the Bowser Parade, and it's a bunch of crappy looking floats that are different aspects of Bowser. Like it's his head, it's his shell, it's like his arms, and it comes like careening down, and it starts like railroading everybody. Bowser just literally running a train on him, and it just slams into everybody. They lose things, they lose items or coins. And it's just the Bowser Parade. And it reminded me of like the Friendship Train in like one of the Kirby games. And I was like, someone needs to bring back the Bowser Parade. And everyone celebrating him is just amazing. It should happen more often. So big ups for Mario Party 2 for instituting the Bowser Parade.
Yeah.
I got quite hyped when I first saw it.
I'm actually on the Mario Wiki for this, looking at Bowser Land, and according to this, the Bowser Parade occurs every 5 turns. Any player caught in the parade will lose 2 coins per space, and they will eventually be sent back to the starting space. If there's nobody in the parade's path, the parade is canceled. So somebody actually has to be on the streets, like ready to watch this, or it's not going to happen.
I'm not going to murder anybody. I don't even want to do it. Nah.
For players to control the path the parade will take, they can manipulate tiles with arrows on them. So you can actually change the direction of the tiles by passing a baby Bowser and paying him a fee of 5 coins. So you can actually pay to change, like have the parade go towards like we're all playing together. It's like, all right, I want Derrick to lose a bunch of coins. We're going to change this this parade route so it actually hits you. But this map, if you want the Mario Party 1 brutality.
Yeah, there is strategy. Like it's kind of like all these boards have like if you did play these games and get like good at all the mini games and like know exactly kind of how to screw with people, there is replayability here. It's I don't know that the first Mario Party quite had that much kind of variability that you could do with the maps and stuff. I think it's an extra layer of just more stuff there. Like. And I make that point because it's like there is so much about this game that is not random, you know, that is being manipulated from behind the curtain, right? But there are bits and pieces that you do that if you are good enough and smart enough and you know well versed enough, you can kind of work things in your favor, or you can still have an edge over the computer.
Yeah. When I was playing Mystery Land, I was so sure I was going to lose because I just couldn't get coins to save my life. And then I just got lucky because it's like a twofold lucky where there was another battle mini game, but rather than 10 or 20, they took 40 coins from everybody. Like it was a massive amount of coins in the pot. And I happened to win that one and immediately got to 50. And then I landed on the bank. Like directly in the bank space. And at that point it had like 60 coins in it. So all of a sudden I had like money to spend. And I just so happened to get caught in the square or the little area where Boo is. And I just started stealing stars because I wasn't getting them otherwise. So I just like, screw it. I'm just, as long as I don't hit that happening space, I'm just stealing everybody else's stars. And I actually managed to win that one. But if you want your brutality of Mario Party 1, Derrick, and want to hate life and other people...
I already have that enough already. Like, normal reality's got that covered, but okay.
Bowser Land is definitely where it's at, because not only do you have the Bowser Parade, but everything is flipped on its head. So for the bank, every time you pass by it, you actually are given 5 coins rather than having to pay 5 coins. However, that creates a loan inside the bank. So whoever the poor sucker is that lands on the bank space has to pay the loan. However, if you don't have enough coins to pay the loan, they will take a star.
The evil of capitalism.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely keep politics out of video games, please.
Yes. And there's no strategy with the items because rather than Toad running the store, baby Bowser is running the store, and he just like, here, you're going to take this item. You're buying this item. You don't get a choice. He's just giving you that item.
Wow. Okay.
So I was really wanting to play this one because I heard it is a cruel mistress, but I just didn't get the chance to unlock it. But that's thankfully we have the wiki here to really see that.
Sounds brutal.
Did either of you check out because there's not a lot of modes. It's either you got the maps, the boards, or the minigame land where you buy the mini games that you have and can get other stuff involved with it.
I went to the laboratory, the option screen, because there's not much else to do. And it's kind of fun when you go through the menu, like the camera shifts and goes down the hallway, and it's sort of like a recreation of the kind of entryway area of Mario 64 a little bit. But the music that plays in the laboratory area is fucking great. That's a great track.
Yeah. I was like pretty good music all around.
And also listening to the sorry, Grace is getting the dogs out of here.
No
listening to the music, it's like a vinyl player, and every single song, like the disc comes out and the new one comes in, and it's just a neat little touch. There's some bangers on the soundtrack for sure.
Mm. Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Well, can we talk about the minigame area and like
Sure.
the weird Deku Tree with the really big mouth?
Sure. What do you want to say about him?
I just didn't. He's always talking, and the mouth is always just there. And I'm just trying to like browse, man. He's just like his big giant mouth is just like always like it's just I didn't like it.
He's friends with the tree from Kirby, maybe the big mouth tree crew, Wispy Woods.
Wispy
he's
Woods is a
hanging out.
buddy though. Is cute and nice. And he has a little, he gets a little band-aid on his head when you beat him. When you throw too many apples at his face. He looks like he's like the Deku Tree's like creepy uncle or something like that. I just didn't like it.
Didn't like him.
Didn't make much of an impression on me. So, but yeah, I'm sorry to hear he like unnerved you. So
Yeah.
He's all over the minigame islands.
Yeah.
Like when you buy them, you're
According
selecting them.
to our patron chat, his name is Woody, and actually he does come back in Mario Party 3 where he gets his own
Wild
board.
Woody.
Woody's Woods, which actually is in Mario Party Superstars on the Switch. So Woody is still alive and well. Plus he has an evil variant that'll screw you over in that map.
Wow.
More evil?
Yeah, more evil.
I already didn't trust him, but I mean, or maybe I'm like, sorry, this is a hot take to the Mario Party like fandom.
Yeah, it turns out Woody has like a huge fan base.
I'm canceled. Oh no!
Oh boy, how could you do that? It's just the disrespect.
It's just weird that like the minigame island and it has the motif of the big tree with the big mouth. I didn't get it. I didn't like it. It's just strange. Yeah.
So with the minigame land, it's interesting because it's your best chance for single player content, but in order to do it, you have to play the main game, because for whenever you beat a board, every player's totals are accumulated. So you saw everybody's coins, everybody's stars, which are transferred into coins, and it goes into a bank. You can then use that money to buy the mini games from Woody in order to just play them whenever. But it also does this thing where if you buy enough, you unlock the minigame stadium, where there are two modes, minigame trial and minigame battle, I believe. Where it's like trial is like, here's a board, but you're just trying to accumulate the most coins by playing through the mini games, and it's a lot quicker. There's less tricks and all that stuff. Battle is just, hey, pick a mini game playing against each other. But then, and I wish I was able to experience this in this time, they have the mini game coaster, but you need to buy every single mini game in order to unlock this. And what it is it's a challenge mode. You have to go through all the mini games and try to see how far you can get. There's save spaces for the toad, like you run into a toad and you can save there, and you're just trying to get as far as you can and actually defeat every single mini game in order to get to the final goal and winning it all. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well,
do you have to wait? Do you have to like play through the game and like get do you have to like unlock every single mini game first? Is that how that works?
I think so. You have to. All it says is you have to buy the mini games available from Woody. So you go to Woody, spend your coins. But I mean, I played through 4 boards and got a pretty decent amount of stars, and all I was able to give was all the single player and like 2 of the 1v3s. So I still had to. I would have to play like 3 or 4 more boards if I was going to unlock it.
Because usually it's the opposite in a lot of N64 games or like anything of the day, where it's like play through the single player and then it says like you'll find like the arena mode or that stage like locked in like a little box and you break it open. It's like you unlock this for your multiplayer mode. Like, I don't know, like a thing in like battle tanks on the N64 or even Winback. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that this is like a multiplayer mode, and yeah, you can play it single player, but you know what I mean, and then you unlock the single player stuff. It's kind of funny.
It's very odd, but I don't. It's the thing is, this game is very much like this is totally designed to play with your friends. If you don't have friends to play with, you'll only get so much mileage out of it. That's for sure.
Yeah,
but I guess there's a little more. Because I don't know that the the first game didn't have any kind of mini game like island type thing. It was just you had to play the game to play the mini games. But I could see like if playing the game single player just to like unlock all the mini games. Yeah, because I only played one board of the on the Horrorland, and yeah, I had like several thousand coins, and I think games are like 50, 100, 150, or 250. I think is kind of like the range.
Like
but
that,
yeah, I was able to kind of go through and buy the handful that I thought were great, and I think I have 1,000 left over because I was like, yeah, oh nah, none of these seem great, so I'll hang on to it for now.
Yeah. Looks like it's. I was just looking out of curiosity what Mario Party 1 had, and they did have a mini game island, which was just a single special challenge where you travel all around the island and beat every mini game one by one. So basically the same as what the mini game coaster in 2. So yeah, so there is.
And how many more mini games? Like, are we like in terms of like just total mini games? Like, how many more are there?
I think there was like, I wrote this down somewhere.
Let's see.
There's 64 in this, or 65 perhaps, if you, which is weird. And then Mario Party 1 had 49.
Okay. I'm glad you found that, because I was scanning and like, I have no idea.
Because it says like there's one that's like exclusively for single player mode.
Mm-hmm.
Something like a driving a car tutorial, driver's license, something like that. That's only available in one player. Okay. Yeah, and 49. So that's a substantial thing. Plus Nintendo, I like the branding, 64 mini games in your game for the Nintendo 64.
Ah, there you go.
Nintendo always thinking.
Very nice. Gotta get that.
I was gonna say that's like Pokemon Snap only has 63 Pokemon.
Ooh,
you missed
it. Like I don't know. What do you like? And there is definitely a lot more room in that game for just one more. Pokemon Snap needed a sequel for such a long time because it was such a small game.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have to worry about all the models, I guess. But yeah. Honestly, do we have anything else to say about Mario Party 2? I mean,
yeah, Bowser Parade. That's what I have to say.
Yeah.
I have one thing I want to say. One thing that I thought was really cute was the skeleton key.
Oh, yes.
I love the skeleton key because, like, when you use it, it's because the skeleton key is like a key with eyes, but I think it has like a little bit of like a bow on it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks to you. Like, when you use it, it's like, you know, you want to go in this door, and typically you want to go in the door for, you know, some extra loot or where a hidden star is, something like that. So it's used often, and when you use it, she goes, "Oh well, I guess this is goodbye. I'll miss you." And if you don't use it, she's like, "Oh, thank God."
It hurts to be put into that lock, I guess. I don't know.
But eventually, if one stop's never gets used, they're like, my life is pointless. Why was I created if not to open all doors?
Yeah.
Their life's purpose is complete and they're gone forever, and it's immediately locked again. So what an endless cycle.
Well, you can only hold one. One player can only hold one item.
Correct.
So I'm assuming like 4 players can have 4 skeleton keys. But I guess my headcanon was I was just buying the same skeleton key over and over again. And she was just like, "Okay, see you again. What's up, buddy?" You know.
That's fair. Yeah, that's the items are definitely something that get shifted around a lot as Mario Party goes on. Like it was mentioned before in the patron chat, but Mario Party 3 introduced the idea of everybody gets to hold 3 items now. So there's a bit more strategy about which items you hold and like what you use, what you save, that sort of thing. And then
I think that's a smart change.
Yeah. And later Mario Party minigames adds to the board game aspect where it's like you get candies or whatever else, and you can toss them onto the board itself to create special spaces. So land on this space and you'll lose half your coins, or you'll get zapped, and every space you move past that one you'll lose like 3 coins. So you can get kind of strategic with that. So there is, it's interesting to see how Mario Party evolves, where each individual game is roughly the same, but there are enough differences that they're like, it's why favorites can form based on what it really does.
And you can see why Nintendo made so many, because it's a simple relative formula. You just look at it, change the boards, change some mini games, but the core is always still there. And like, people want more mini games all the time, right? Especially at that point, especially with like how popular like multiplayer stuff was on the N64. So now it kind of makes more sense to me that you described all that, like why there was like 17 Mario Party games. I'm just shooting for a number there. I don't know if that's accurate, but I feel like it's close.
No,
How
yeah,
many?
I
Can
did.
we look that up?
I did watch a couple of ranking videos in preparation, and
Okay.
I was shocked to learn that there was 3 on the 3DS,
Really?
either 2 or
Yeah.
3 on the 3DS. There was the DS, there was a GBA, but there were a couple on the 3DS, which I don't think I ever heard of. But
So,
the
Matt,
2
you're
videos I
close.
watched though.
There's 18.
Oh,
There are.
Well, does that count? Does that count the Wii game that was technically not a Mario Party game? That was just like
No, there's not. Is only the ones labeled as Mario Party. Wii Party is definitely different. It does not play by the same rules.
yeah.
And does that also count the e-reader game?
It does.
Mario Party E, which is okay. Damn. All right.
Yeah, I'm on the wiki
done.
here. So there's Mario Party 1 through 10. Then you have Super Mario Party and Superstars, and then on handheld you had Mario Party E, Mario Party Advance, Mario Party DS, Mario Party Island Tour, Star Rush, and Top 100. Most of the
legit
handheld Mario Party games are
stab
not
at that
good.
number. I was like, it can't be 17. It's probably like 12.
Even
or
like
something.
the second Switch game, I knew that Super Mario Party had been out, and it was like every time Nintendo puts out like their best-selling Switch games, I'm like, man, well, it's like another 20 million for that one, really, you know? And then whenever the second Switch Mario Party game, which I guess was like 2021, I didn't hear about it. I don't remember it, and it's like it was during lockdown and COVID and all this stuff. Perfect time to release another Mario Party game, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, like because people who did play, I don't know if because the thing is with a lot of Nintendo games anymore, it seems like it's the same thing with Mario Kart. You release that one game, and that's your one game from the system, and people don't really bother with it because they already have that. But Superstars was significantly better than Super Mario Party because it finally, after a very long lull, got back to the boards that we had in having this game, specifically
Right.
pulling from some of them in that. Like Horrorland is in Superstars, recreated, and you have all that plus a bunch of the mini games from across all the console Mario parties, and it's a lot of fun to the point that the people who did play it. Oh, also first time ever Mario Party had online. You can actually play boards together. It was
I'm sure it worked really well.
actually pretty decent.
Really?
Decent. Yeah, it's like
I just-
surprisingly well.
I just go from when Nintendo's first stab at online for a certain series. Usually, it typically doesn't go super well.
They
So I'm glad to
tested
hear
it because
otherwise.
they added in Super Mario Party. They added in multiplayer for Super Mario Party post launch. So right before Mario Party Superstars came out, they actually did like a test with
Test
Super
run.
Mario Party.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
kind of smart in that way. Everybody
Or you
wanted
should have had that
DLC
from the jump,
for
to be honest. But
Superstars. Yeah.
sorry, you were saying, yeah.
Oh no!
I
It's like,
interrupted
it just people enjoy Superstars so much they wanted DLC to bring back other boards because we only had 5 in Superstars. So like, let's get more in here.
Did they bring
wow.
back like searing gas pain land or unnecessary surgery land? Because those are my favorite.
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not.
Damn it.
Really though, they should have a Mario Party game that's treated like Mario Kart 8, where they're like, don't make another one, just like keep adding DLC.
Yeah.
The one you already got. That makes sense to
Yeah.
me. I did always think, even back in the day, I think I always liked Smash Bros a little more than Mario Party, and was always
As a
upset that they
multiplayer
kept
thing.
they kept on making more Mario Party games, and it's like, you should make more Smash Bros games. What's the deal with that? But now I realize that like it may be kind of nice that there is only 6 if you count the 3DS, I suppose.
Yeah.
When you count that
Sounds
it's been around
right.
for 23 years, that's not a lot. Yeah.
No.
But also
Especially
that they
how popular
kind
it
of
is.
ended. I don't know how they're going to make another Smash, because it's like you have everyone in it unless you have a gigantic reset in some capacity.
Well, that's what a lot of people have said, not to get too off topic, but it's like, where are you supposed to go from everyone is here? You have to like go back to the basics and like start, like, it has to be like a different playing game, but then, you lose everyone's like knowledge of how the game played before, and it's kind of like tricky. So I don't know. Like
it's a tough
just
spot.
do a remake of like the original Smash. Like I don't know what you do. Do a remake of Melee. That's what some people want. Just do a remake of Melee, like 1-to-1, because of.
I don't know how you
that's what
fix
they
that.
want.
I don't know what you do next, but I'm glad I'm not the person who has to figure it out.
Yeah, and who knows if even Sakurai is the one who has to figure that out because
I mean, he doesn't. He quit.
I think he
Right?
retired, and
I don't know if he's
YouTube
retired or
channel.
not. He's been kind of coy about the whole thing.
That's true. Okay.
He's
I'd say like an advisory capacity like makes sense, like
yeah.
he pokes his head in the room and says like, okay, that's fine, and like walks away.
I mean, he
'Cause,
did
he needs a
so
break.
much of that himself. Like he constantly talks about how he personally balanced the game until like Ultimate, where he actually had a team, or maybe it was Wii U.
But it's like Mario Party. Did Mario Party have like some overarching producer that was always kind of associated with the series, or was it always like jumping around to different people?
Because it was Hudson Soft the
Yeah.
longest time. It was.
Yeah,
It was. It was
true.
a.
Hudson Soft
Yeah,
was the
it's-
one who handled it, so it's not really associated with any one director. Instead, it was always associated with Hudson until they went under. And the reason it got changed so much is because it went to ND Cube, who handled like
Right,
Mario Party. I think I forget which ones they handled, but eventually they took over. And unfortunately, it seemed to lose its identity for a long time. Then it's finally recovering because, Mario Party 9 and 10, they had the car gimmick, and then they just couldn't quite grasp what people wanted out of it. Although, according to Dan Alpha Lion, Shurichio Nishia actually stuck with it the entire time, both at Hudson and ND Cube. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. Bring back Syrian Gas Pain Land. That's how you revitalize it.
Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, do we have anything else we want to say about Mario Party 2 before we give our final verdict?
I think for myself, I'm partied out. I'm party pooped. So because
Yeah.
this is the most I've thought and played Mario Party in like 10 years or something. So
Fair
I'm all
enough.
partied out.
Fair enough. So, yeah. I think we've said all we've wanted to say. So, Matt, Derrick, would you recommend Mario Party 2 as an NSO or tell people to stay away with an NO? Matt, let's start with you.
I would say an yeso.
Yeah, yeso. It's a dumb name, I know, but
No, it's good. I wasn't sure if I was saying it right.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I would say so because going back to it, like, how well will this like kind of stack up? Because I've only played like more of the recent, like not more recent, but like GameCube Mario Party is kind of where I remember most of my time going. So you go back to an N64 game, you never really know outside of like some of the classics. So going back to this, I was pleasantly surprised by just obviously, like we've talked about, there's some computer manipulation going on behind the scenes or whatever, but I still felt like it was more fair than I remember Mario Party kind of being, and it was a fun time. Like I was, if you have NSO and you're looking for a Mario Party, I haven't played them in years, like I definitely recommend it. And there's a reason why Nintendo has re-released this one like quite a bit. It was on the Wii U, and I think it was on the Wii as well, like Mario Party 2 specifically. So yeah, thumbs up from me.
Cool. What about you, Matt? I'm sorry, Derrick. Matt, tell me again.
No, I'll go again.
Yeah, tell
if
me
you
again.
like.
Repeat
Anyway,
exactly what you just said. I wasn't actually
I
paying
see.
attention.
So one Derrick's all you need, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. You only need one Derrick's opinion. That's the only one that matters. No, Derrick,
I guess-
what about you?
I guess I would say that I would not recommend Mario Party 1.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I would recommend Mario Party 2. There are, I think, way better games on the N64 part of NSO.
Winback.
But if you really
Yeah, there we go.
Winback and GoldenEye and
Yeah.
some other really
Winback.
great. Some Winback is great though. Yes, Matt, just keep saying Winback. I will agree with you every time.
I just want to see if you will.
We need to get some of Matt's obscure fighting games on there because they
they're
put some
never-
swerves on there every so often.
For fighting games, I haven't looked in a little while. Is there
Not
actual-
for fighting games, but every so often you get this weird addition. You're like, what the hell is that? Like,
'Cause all the
there's like
fighting games
Eliminator
there-
boat duel on NES. It's like, what the hell is that game?
Because
That
aside
game
from
kind of
Smash,
slaps though. Both dual
aside from
elimination kind of
Smash, all those
slaps.
fighting games are bad though.
Eh.
Like they're bad or no one owns them anymore. Like like they're lost to time or whatever. So But yeah, if you
War
ever do a
gods.
Winback episode, tag me in on that. Derrick too.
We can only hope that'd be perfect. So, yeah.
Well, what did you think about it?
I definitely enjoyed coming back. I mean, I've played a lot of Mario Party 2 over the years with friends, at various times, and it's always just a fun time. It can get frustrating. Oh, it can get real frustrating when you're like seeing your friends do well or get ahead, and you like, I just need a 4 and I can get this star. 1. Here comes a friend with like a 10 and just rolling right by. Yeah. Like, it can be brutal in that aspect, but it's also kind of the fun of it because you never quite know what's going to happen. You have a little bit of strategy, a little bit of luck. It's a good mix of the two where you embrace the chaotic fun that Nintendo excelled at with various games. And
it's Nintendo and Hudson making a statement about life, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, that's true. You never know what's going to happen. You just got to roll with those punches and do the best you can. And what makes it even better with it being on NSO is that it is online. So if you have friends, you can play it. I'm not sure how well it plays, but it depends on your internet connection, of course. But it mostly does all right from my experience with NSO. So I think it's perfectly playable that people can play together. And
honestly, if it was laggy and janky, you'd never know because even in the room, like, I felt like my controls were laggy. Yeah, that's actually how the game is. No,
it's just how it goes. You just gotta put up with it. Sorry, but yeah, this is a pretty easy and yes-o for me. It's fine by itself, but if you can get some friends together, it's a really great time. Still holds up. But
I don't see myself going over, like, I'm looking at the list here. If I have friends over and we doing N64, you got Mario Tennis,
Winback.
Yeah, you get Winback. You also have Mario Kart. You have Winback, and then you have Excite Bike 64, and then Winback. But it's the N64 was really like a party machine. It was the first one that had the 4 controllers, and I will say, hey, how about this? Mario Party 1, when you lose in a mini game, the winner gets like 10, 5 coins, whatever. Everybody loses like 1 or 2 or 5. That doesn't happen in Mario Party 2. So maybe depending on how like competitive and just like maybe you and your friends just give each other just crap and just troll each other, and that's just how your crew is. Maybe then it's Mario Party 1. But if you're like me and I guess have a soul, Mario Party 2. It's
yeah.
But I guess I don't see myself playing Mario. I might play Mario Party 3 because it just came out. I never played it.
Honestly, it is probably the best one on N64, and it's significant in this case because it's the first time it's ever been re-released.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah. Huh. So it's pretty decent. So
at least the two YouTube videos I watched, and they seem to know their stuff. They disagreed, sir. I saw Mario Party 3. Typically, the first 3 Mario Parties were in that top 3, but I saw some people say that it was the worst one of the 3.
Wow,
that's just but hey, it's
don't
shoot the messenger here.
Everybody has their own opinions. It is what it is. But I mean, hey, give it a shot. It's on. I mean, it's there. That's for sure. But what about all of you at home? Have you played Mario Party 2 before, or was this somehow your first time? But before we go, it's time to plug away. So where can everyone find you at? Let's start with you, Derrick.
I'm Derrick. It's me, Derrick. I'm famous for saying my name on my channel, Stop Skeletons from Fighting. I'm currently working on playing every single Zeebo game for the Zeebo, and that's Stop Skeletons from Fighting on YouTube. Also, Stop Skeletons on most social medias. We're on most of them, including formerly known as Twitter. I call it Cross. Elon Musk's Cross.
Crossed us all right.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. What about you, Matt?
Matt McMuscles on all of the things. It's funny because I'm not particularly muscular. On my channel, the main one, usually play super bad fighting games and do reviews of them, and also tell you what happened to certain big games throughout the years in the gaming industry. Maybe I might be talking about Lord of the Rings Gollum finally. A huge request.
I'm sure that got requested a lot once that dropped.
Yeah. Yeah, and then now that new King Kong game, and it's just leave those games alone. They're fun and stupid, and they were made under duress, but people still want to know about them. So
King
that's what I
Kong,
have
especially
coming up.
from what I've heard, because
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really, it's like what happened. It's like these lazy devs. No, it's usually probably the producers or the shareholders who are like, it has to come out on Q3, and they're like, it's not done.
Usually given like in King Kong's case, given like 1 year to make like a game, which is ludicrous for like this amount of like game that you're making. But still, I played that and I was like, this is too funny to be bad. Well, it is bad, but it's too funny as well.
It's entertainingly bad. It's why people play Sonic 06 constantly, because it's entertainingly bad.
Yeah.
No, that's, I mean, my philosophy is, yes, there's good and bad, but I'm more, how I live my life is there's interesting and uninteresting. Good and bad is relative. It's like, I mean, I watched The Room, which is an objectively terrible film that is objectively also a masterpiece and incredibly entertaining. And it's just as fun as watching a Casablanca or a Godfather, the type of thing. So I'm all about like, the angry video game nerds. They're out there and they're doing their thing, but I'm kind of with Matt in that, like, some stuff is bad, but you can still have a lot of fun. It's very interesting how some things are bad, and I'm out here trying to have fun. Video games are dumb. Video games are fun. That's what I'm about, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, sounds good to me. That's why I like this show. Like, let's see what kind of weird crap I can discover and see if the
vibes are good.
Yeah, see what I can find. I love this. I love this show. But yeah, thank you both for joining me. And if all you lovely viewers enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments, and please consider supporting us at patreon.com/gvgaming, which includes our live audience tier that will allow you to watch Game Club live as it's being recorded. But even just subscribing and hitting that bell helps us a ton. But now it's time for the Wheel of Games to choose next week's title, as I'm joined by my special guests, Uncle Silver and Creepy Elliot. Are you both ready to see what game we're playing?
Very ready.
Well, I don't know if you are, Uncle.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I odds are in my favor.
Is it redemption, or is it going to be more torture for this is going to be a running joke now for Greg?
Oh God, I don't know.
I've never seen anybody so nervous about this wheel, but let's go ahead and bring it up. Here's the Wheel of Games, and let's give it a spin.
Don't hurt me, Wheel.
Wheel of Games, turn. What are we going to be playing? We are going to be playing Shadow of the Ninja for the NES. Oh. I have no idea what this is.
I know that I've tried it because I've tried every game on there, but
I got nothing for that one. But there you have it.
I don't either. I got nothing either.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't that the Natsume Ninja Gaiden clone, was it?
We'll do some research before we jump into it at the beginning next time.
Yeah.
So for now, there you have it. We'll see you next time as we cover Shadow of the Ninja for the NES. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bye.